Welcome to another Lynton Cast here with your friends from Lynton. My name is Roman Nahanicki. We have from HubSpot with us, Lukas Pleva, and he is a Senior Product Manager at HubSpot. He's going to be talking to us and giving us all the deets on the new CMS Starter release that HubSpot just announced. So welcome, Lukas. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and we're gonna ask you some questions about the deets on CMS.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for having me. So Lukas Pleva, I currently work at HubSpot. Been there for about 2 years or so, a little bit over than that. Have been working in our product organization that whole time. My main responsibility is working alongside other product managers on the CMS Hub product line. My team specifically are responsible for kind of that getting started experience with CMS Hub for marketers, whether that means, the in-app onboarding, making it easier to move your existing website onto HubSpot. And most recently, I was one of the product managers who helped with the development and the launch of our newest product, which is CMS Hub Starter.
Beautiful. Thank you for that intro and that background. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about CMS Starter. First of all, define CMS, the letters for everyone. And then if you can talk about CMS Starter and how it compares to other CMSs out there to start, just kind of give everybody an overview.
Yeah, there's a lot of acronyms on the internet, CMS being one of them. So CMS stands for Content Management System. And I think, when most people hear CMS, the first thing that really comes to mind is like, oh, so it's a website builder, right? Like you can use it to build a website. And you wouldn't be wrong if you thought that. And when you think about products like CMS Starter or CMS Professional or CMS Enterprise, there's actually 3 products now in the CMS Hub family. You can, in fact, build a website with CMS. But we really like to think of CMS Hub as much, much more than a website builder, right? To us, it's really ultimately a platform that you can use to grow your business and to get more revenue through your web presence. So while you can use CMS Starter to create, a beautiful, highly optimized, highly performing website, what you also get as part of that package is things like email marketing. You get integration with our, top class CRM platform, which means you can actually, manage data about the visitors who are coming to your website and interacting with it. You get access to reporting tools so that you can measure the ROI of all the work that you put into that website. So it's ultimately a platform that allows your business to grow. And to kind of go back to your original question of like, how does it compare to other, CMSs and other website builders? I would say actually, we like to think that we want to be in a league of our own, where we want to empower customers not just to build websites, but to build experiences and to use those experiences to grow their business.
That's beautiful. Thank you for that detail. Okay. Now that there's the HubSpot CMS has been described as a CRM-powered CMS. So a few more acronyms. So if you could kind of, again, just to make sure we're clear on terms, just, define CRM and then kind of talk about how the HubSpot CMS Starter is a CRM-powered CMS.
Yeah, absolutely. So CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management, right? And at a really high level, that basically just means it's a system that allows you to manage, your relationships with the folks who are coming to your website, who are interacting with you, who have ultimately bought from you, as well as any other relevant data about them. So who they work for, what they do, what they don't do, so on and so forth. So at HubSpot, what we've been working on is a very tight coupling of all of our products, whether it's Sales Hub, Service Hub, Operations Hub, CMS Hub, Marketing Hub, with that underlying CRM platform. Because we believe that combination is what's necessary to build a truly delightful experience. So let's talk about like, what does that actually mean, right? As it applies to the CMS Hub product line. So I think there's a couple of things that come to mind. It's if you go back to, kind of pre-pandemic, right? A lot of businesses, especially I think smaller businesses, when they thought of website, they basically thought I'm going to build an online version of my business card, right? It's going to be a static page with maybe some text and pictures on it, maybe a phone number, and it's just a way for someone to find out that I exist. And I think we've seen a pretty rapid acceleration in rethinking what is the role of a website, where it's not just an informational business card online. It's really meant to be a marketing engine, and it's really supposed to help my business grow. And we believe our integration with the CRM can help you do that. So how does it do that? Things that come to mind are personalization, right? Making it so that when you actually go to a page, visitors see different content depending on if they've interacted with you before, or what industry they're in. It means making sure that if they actually try to reach out to you, whether that's through a form or whether that's through a live chat, that their information gets logged in your system and you can understand, how they interacted with other parts of your website. It means once they actually purchase with you, are you able to track and understand how they engage with your business? So it's really about the philosophy of moving from building a static informational page that communicates one way to building an experience where your customers and how they interact with your brand is in one centralized place, and then you can continue growing with them along, as well.
Love that. That's great. And then, so you talked about the advantages of, kind of the sort of the prospect or front-facing, client-facing advantages of a CMS and of the HubSpot CMS, and talking about the experience with the brand. Talk a little bit about kind of the people that would be using the CMS. Why would a marketer like the HubSpot CMS, and why would a developer like the CMS? And I'm being general because I know we have, a lot of the features carry on after HubSpot CMS Starter, but talk about specifically, if you could talk about the things that marketers and developers would like around CMS Starter.
Yeah, 100%. So, whenever we build a product, we get a lot of feedback from the people that we want using the product. And in this case, that means both marketers and developers. So we wanted to make sure that the feature set kind of reflects the needs of both of those audiences. So when you think about marketers, one of the biggest things that they need is they want to feel empowered to be able to make changes really quickly and really easily, right? They want their development teams focused on development, right? And not updating copy, not having to submit tickets to say, hey, can you swap out this picture? It's something that they want to be able to do on their own, using very easy, intuitive drag and drop interfaces without having to code. And that's exactly the kind of experience you're going to get with CMS Starter, where that kind of content creation and content editing process is drag and drop based, and it's very easy to create new content or to edit existing content. On top of that, kind of still on the marketer side, like I mentioned, we know that it's really important for our marketers to then understand, how is this content that I publish creating? Are people looking at it? Are they filling out the lead generation form? Are they then, continue to interact with our business? How do I follow up with them? And kind of all those, marketing and lead capture tools come bundled with the CMS Starter product, which means that marketers can be effective at their jobs. So that's kind of on the marketer side. On the developer side, what we know about developers is that, they can be very picky about how they work, and a lot of developers have a specific workflow. They have a specific set of tools that they want to use, and they don't necessarily want to have to learn a whole different system just to be able to, build content. Which is why with CMS Starter, developers get access to our local development tools, which is basically our way of saying, if you want to code in VS Code, if you want to use GitHub, if you want to work locally on your machine, you can do all that, right? You don't have to go into like a built-in, code editor to be able to take advantage of it. You can do everything the way you've been doing, but now you can actually allow your marketer colleagues to take advantage of the CMS CRM platform. That's
great. Yeah. I've never heard of developers wanting to do things their own way, but I'll take your word for that. Very, very regimented and picky, and in a good way. We have some tremendous developers here that are exactly the way that you described. 100%. So the other kind of final question that I want to ask you is, there's probably some folks out there thinking, you know what, I really like CMS Starter. I really like HubSpot. I really like the vision behind this tool that can create a brand experience that can help my business grow, that can also be a sales engine for my business. But, there's WordPress out there. So many people use WordPress. There's Squarespace. There's GoDaddy. And, those seem pretty easy to use, pretty easy, very accessible. What should I think about if I'm considering those tools as compared to CMS Starter? And what would I lose, or what are the key considerations that I should be aware of?
Yeah, 100%. So, let me be, upfront. There are a lot of great CMSs. I'm the first one to admit WordPress is super popular. Wix and Squarespace are great platforms as well. I think if you're a marketer thinking about, what CMS platform should I be using to kind of fuel the next stage of my journey? There are a couple of things to think about. The first one is, am I picking a platform that will give me more than just the ability to create content, right? Do I kind of get access to some of those marketing, the reporting, the CRM tools that we all know are needed to be successful? And then even if I know that I'm able to get access to those tools and kind of, maybe make everything work, as my business grows and as I get hopefully more leads and more customers and keep growing, is the platform that I'm picking going to grow with me? And I think that's a really important question, right? Because yes, we have this, $25 a month CMS Starter product. That's a great choice. But then as your needs change and as they evolve, right? And maybe you're bringing on developers, you're partnering with a web development agency like Lynton, right? And you're thinking to yourself, hey, now I actually want to start, doing things like a private portal where I want to have customers logging in and creating profiles, right? Or maybe I want to start creating things like learning management systems, or I want to create, the world is your oyster, right? Where you kind of want to go and build something more sophisticated. With CMS Hub, as you grow, we grow alongside with you. And we always kind of have the next available offering in the form of our professional and enterprise products that will sort of meet your needs once you get to a point where you have them. So think about, do I get access to more than just web development tools? How easily am I going to be able to integrate those tools, right? Am I going to have to hire a developer just to stitch all these things together, or is it going to be all in one? And then once I grow, is the platform that I chose going to grow with me? And, we think at HubSpot, we make a pretty compelling case that, the answer to all those questions is yes, yes, yeah, and yes.
Yeah, 100% agree. And I get that question a lot, being at an agency, and I will say, the WordPress is a very, very common, well-known platform. It's also a very well-known platform that's hacked into. What I like is that HubSpot is a hosted solution with a bunch of really, really smart people running around in Cambridge every day and everywhere around the world trying to make it better. And that's really powerful for me. And we have, data centers here in the US, just a new data center in Europe. So we have the ability to grow and scale. And again, it's a very secure hosted solution. So that's what I like to present as, HubSpot versus anything else. So great.
Yeah. No, you hit the nail on the head. HubSpot being a SaaS platform, right? We have, many teams whose sole job it is to make sure that your website is up and running, that it's safe, that you're always running on the latest version of the software. We're kind of ready 24/7 to respond to anything that may happen, sort of by signing up for CMS Hub, including CMS Starter, by the way. You get access to our content delivery network, yet another acronym, CDN, but that basically means that your visitors, wherever they may be in the world, whether they're in North America, Africa, Australia, Europe, whatever they may be, the website will load really quickly for them. And it means that, you also get a very robust layer of protection against nefarious actors that may be out there.
Agreed. All right, kind of wrapping it all up, any kind of final thoughts or things that you'd like to leave us with in terms of just kind of planting a seed for anyone watching or listening as they consider CMS for their organization?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. I would say we are really excited by the CMS Hub Starter product, but we're just getting started. This is, I think, it's been less than 48 hours since the product launched, so we're still learning. The product will continue to improve. We like to believe that feedback is the breakfast of champions. So I would definitely encourage everyone to, go on our website, buy the product. It's $25. See if it fits your needs. We also have a free trial of our professional and enterprise products, so you can sort of play around with things, get a feel for our editing tools, for our developer tools. If you're a developer who's thinking about, hey, this thing seems interesting, I want to try it out, we have a free developer version that you can try out as well. And then as you're, playing with things and as you're exploring, could this really fit my business? Give us that feedback. Let us know what works well, what doesn't. We want to continue to get better and build a world-class CMS CRM platform.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lukas, for sharing, being here and sharing your insights and expertise with us. And, as Lukas said, for the folks out there, HubSpot.com, check it out, try it out. Developers, check it out, try it out. And, HubSpot is here to support you. Lynton is here to support you. And again, Lukas, thank you. And thank you, everyone. See you next time on Lynton Cast.
Thank you so much.
Take care.